Have you ever taken a good look at yourself in the mirror and thought, is this really me? I mean, we all spend so much time staring at our faces, at our bodies, at the emotions that rise up and flow through us. But what if I told you that all of this is just a mask? A thin, surface-level veil hiding something far bigger and deeper? Think about it. We've all been taught from the moment we can remember that our body, our physical form, and even the thoughts we have make up who we are. But here's the kicker. That belief? It's tiny. It's a cage for your consciousness, trapping you in something that's just temporary. Sure, the body seems real enough. It's tangible. It hurts. It feels. It reacts. But here's the truth. It's just a ride, a temporary vehicle. And you, the real you, the one who watches, who feels, who knows, that part of you, that part is eternal. It doesn't fade, it doesn't age, it doesn't wither. It's immortal. Let's dig a little deeper. Imagine, just for a moment, that your body is like clothing. You don't become the clothes you wear, do you? You put them on and take them off every day. And eventually, at the end of your journey, you'll shed them. The same goes for this body of yours. It's not who you are. You're not the clothes you wear, just like you're not the body you live in. What happens when you stop identifying with it for just a second? What's left? It's like peeling back layers, and underneath all that physicality, there's something grander waiting to be discovered. When we start questioning this, when we begin to see the body as just a tool, we start to realize that what we experience here is only a fraction of who we truly are. Your body, while amazing, is temporary, bound by time and space. But you are so much more. The real you, the consciousness behind it all, is infinite. It's the part of you that stretches beyond this lifetime, beyond your body, beyond everything you can touch and see. And once you truly get that, once it clicks, well, that realization has the power to change everything. It'll change how you see yourself, how you see the world. So let's take a trip today. Let's explore something deep. The idea that you're not what you think you are. You're not just your body. And you're certainly not just your mind. What if, beyond all this, there's an immortal essence that's been at the center of your true existence since forever? And guess what? Today's the day we're going to uncover it. Let me walk you through it. And after we dive in, let me know what you think in the comments. We're in this together. Now I know it's easy to get lost in the illusion of the everyday. We feel every sensation, every pain, every emotion, and it all tells us, this is me. But if you squint just a little bit and look past that familiar face in the mirror, you'll see it. The body, even though it feels so real, is just a vehicle, a tool for the soul. Think of a sailor navigating the ocean. They need a boat to get from one shore to the next. And so, your soul uses the body to move through this life. But here's the thing. Why do we always get so attached to the boat? Why do we cling to it like it's all we have? Well, from the moment we're born, we're taught to identify with the body, like it's our entire reality. Hunger, pleasure, pain, and every emotion along the way, they all reinforce the idea that we're just this physical being. But what if it's all just a trick? The body is just the interface through which we experience this world. It's like a screen you watch a movie on. It's not the movie itself, right? Understanding that the body is temporary is everything when it comes to spiritual growth. It's like finally getting the secret to a puzzle you've been trying to solve your whole life. The body is a tool, but you're the one who's driving it. And the more you realize that, the more you can free yourself from that tiny, boxed-in view of who you are. When you cling to the body, to your emotions, and your thoughts, you start to lose sight of the soul behind it all. The real you. The one that doesn't fade away with time. Think of the body as a costume. You wear it for a while and then you change it when the time comes. Each time the soul incarnates into a new body, it's an opportunity to grow. But here's the kicker. The soul never changes. It's timeless. It's a part of something much bigger than any moment, any body, any life. So why do we keep holding on so tightly to what's temporary? It's because the rational mind loves what it can see, what it can touch, what it can understand. But the soul, it's beyond all that. You ever stop and think about how your thoughts, emotions, and sensations all get tangled up, creating this wild ride that seems so real, like I'm sad, I'm angry, or I'm happy? But if you dig a little deeper, what exactly are those feelings? They're just temporary reactions of a temporary vehicle, right? The body. It's like emotions and thoughts are passengers along for the ride, popping in and out. But the one watching all of it, the one who's aware of it all, never changes. Here's the kicker. We get so wrapped up in this whole identification with the body that we start to believe it's who we really are. But what if that's all just smoke and mirrors? When we think we're only the body, it's like we're living in a box, unable to see beyond our senses. We're stuck in the material world, trapped in this one-dimensional view of life, missing out on the bigger picture. The truth? We're eternal beings, having a super temporary experience in this physical shell. Once you wrap your mind around the fact that the body's just a tool, like a car you drive around for a while, it shifts everything. Instead of stressing about how you look, or the aches and pains you feel, life becomes this huge opportunity for the soul to grow, stretch, and expand. The body becomes the ride you're taking, but not the destination. It's just a vehicle, a way to experience the world, but not the final say in who you are. And as you go through the twists and turns of life, it starts to hit you. The real you isn't just the stuff you feel through your senses. There's something deeper, something that just watches all the changes happen. Once you start letting go of the idea that you're just this body, a big question starts to creep up. If I'm not the body, then who the heck am I? Well, the answer's a game changer. You are the soul. The soul is pure consciousness, an eternal presence that doesn't fit into the boxes of age, time, or space. It simply is. Now, this isn't some new age mumbo-jumbo. Spiritual traditions across the globe have been saying this for centuries. Take ancient Egypt, for instance. There, they believed the soul, or Ka, was this vital force that didn't die with the body. It just kept on going in the afterlife. Then there's Hinduism, with its concept of Atman, where the soul is this unchangeable essence, totally beyond the body or mind. It's like a drop of water in the ocean. It's part of the whole, but it's also got the whole ocean inside of it. Buddhism takes it further, pointing to the state of enlightenment, where the ego fades and all you're left with is pure consciousness, free from the mind and body. All these teachings, ancient as they are, echo the same thing. The soul is beyond time and space. And that little thing called pure consciousness? That's the part of you that's always there, always present, even when you're too busy with life's whirlwind to notice. Think about it. Ever caught yourself stepping back, watching your own thoughts, or just pausing to think about how you're feeling? That little observer, that's your pure consciousness. It's the part of you that notices every thought, every feeling, every twitch of your body, but it doesn't get tangled up in any of it. It stays unchanged, even while everything around it shifts like sand in the wind. So here's the deal. If we could really start seeing ourselves as this soul, this pure consciousness, it would blow open our whole idea of what it means to live. Right now, as long as we're just focused on the body, we're stuck in the realm of mortality, fear, and all the struggles that come with it. But once we see ourselves as the soul, that's when the magic happens. You realize you're not confined by time, space, or even the limits of this life. You are eternal, unchanging, and free. And when that truth really sinks in, life transforms inside out. The chains of time and space disappear. It's like stepping out of a small box into the vastness of the universe, knowing you can never be boxed in again. It's freedom like you've never felt before. It's you in your purest form, and it's beautiful. When you start seeing yourself as pure consciousness, things really start to shift. What used to seem like a problem, it's just a blip, a passing moment. Worldly worries, they lose their grip on you, because suddenly you get it. They're just part of the temporary journey your soul has chosen to go through. You realize the soul is here to experience, to observe, but it's not tied down to any of it. It's like watching a movie. You're in it, but you're not stuck in it. By connecting with that limitless, unbound part of you, the whole world opens up. It's like stepping into a new way of living, one rooted in inner peace, clarity, and the deep knowing that you're so much more than what you see in the mirror. That moment you realize you're a soul, not just this body. That's when true freedom starts. No more feeling stuck in your body, your mind, or your circumstances. You're operating from a place of pure potential. Your true nature, unstoppable, immortal, eternal. Life and death, they're just blips on the radar. The soul isn't born, and it doesn't die. It just flows between different forms of existence. That understanding, it brings a peace deeper than you could have imagined. Your essence, it's never going away. It can't be destroyed. It just shifts. It transforms. And when you really get that, a question starts to bubble up. If the soul is eternal, what does it do when it's not? In a body? What's happening between lives? Well, that takes us into the ancient idea of reincarnation. Reincarnation's not just about the back and forth of birth and death. It's not some endless cycle. It's how the soul grows, evolves, and transforms with every new life. Every time the soul takes on a new form, it gains new experiences, faces fresh challenges, and learns lessons that get it closer to the truth of what reality really is. Why does the soul need so many lives, though? Good question. I think it's because every life comes with its own set of challenges that help the soul grow. Physical life is like fertile soil for spiritual growth. It's messy and full of contrasts. Joy and sadness, light and darkness, wins and losses. These contrasts, they're what fuel the soul's evolution. Think about it. Just like a muscle needs resistance to get stronger, the soul needs life's challenges to build wisdom, compassion, and strength. In one life, a soul might be learning patience. In another, it's all about forgiveness. And in some lives, it's just soaking in the beauty of existence, learning the pure magic of inner peace. Every moment, from the highest highs to the lowest lows, serves a purpose. They're all opportunities for growth, for the soul to become wiser. And often, it's the hardest moments, the ones that break us, that push us into leaps of consciousness. The soul's growth? It's like an upward spiral, always moving forward, always expanding. Here's the cool part. When the soul comes into a new life, it brings with it all the wisdom from past lives. Sure, you might not remember those past lives, but that wisdom is deeply embedded in your spirit, stored in your subconscious. It shapes your decisions, your impulses, and your reactions in this life. So yeah, those past experiences, they're still with you, still guiding you, influencing the way you learn and live right now. It's kind of like a hidden map, leading you from one life to the next, always pushing you toward greater understanding. Even if you can't see the whole path, you're always moving forward, always growing, always expanding. And that's what makes the journey so incredible. Spiritual traditions around the world have a lot to say about this whole reincarnation gig and why it's so crucial for our spiritual growth. Take Hinduism, for example. It talks about samsara, the never-ending cycle of birth, death, and rebirth. The ride only stops when the soul finally hits enlightenment. Buddhism has a similar take, but it puts more emphasis on karma, the good and bad stuff we do, and how it shapes the next chapter of our journey. Other traditions suggest that reincarnation gives the soul a chance to atone, to come back and fix mistakes, or gain virtues it still lacks. But no matter the tradition, they all agree on one thing. The life you're living right now? It's just one chapter in a much bigger story. You've lived before, and you'll live again. Your soul keeps coming back, over and over, until it reaches that sweet spot of spiritual realization. What's wild is that each life you live, while unique, has one thing in common. It's all about spiritual learning. There's no randomness to it. Every life, every circumstance, is carefully chosen by the soul before you even get here. You might not remember it, but your soul already knows what experiences are coming. And sure, some of those challenges feel like they'll break you, but the truth is, they were picked out to help you grow, to evolve. It's like the soul's roadmap, guiding you through all the hurdles that will shape you into something greater. So, instead of fearing this cycle of lives, maybe we should be embracing it. Once you see each life as an opportunity to level up, you start to look at your problems in a whole new way. Challenges? They become stepping stones, not stumbling blocks. Think about it. Life's difficulties don't feel as heavy when you realize they're part of a way bigger plan. Every single challenge is an opportunity for growth. Every loss teaches us something, and every win brings us a step closer to spiritual fulfillment. And as the soul grows through this process, it starts waking up to its true, boundless nature. You begin to realize that the struggles you face aren't roadblocks on your spiritual path. They are the path. At first, sure, when you hit a rough patch, the knee-jerk reaction is pain, resistance. You want to fight it. But when you start to see it from the perspective of spiritual evolution, you realize there's something deeper going on. That pain? It's an invitation to grow. The soul is calling you to expand, to develop qualities like patience, compassion, resilience, stuff that only comes alive in the trenches, in the heat of the battle. Think back to your toughest moments, those times when life hit you like a ton of bricks. How many times, after you've gotten through the storm, have you found yourself coming out the other side stronger, wiser, with a sharper sense of what life's really about? Those hard times make us dig deeper. They push us to go beyond the automatic responses of the body and mind, and dive into the soul, where we find true strength. Life's a constant cycle of highs and lows. You can't avoid it, but you can learn how to ride the waves. And when you start facing challenges with a shift in perspective, the soul expands. You stop seeing challenges as enemies, and instead, they become your allies on the road to awakening. What's more, these challenges don't just toughen up your soul, they also help you tap into the universal energy that flows through everything. It's the force that nourishes and sustains your soul through its entire journey. When you hit a rough patch, the intensity of the experience can actually crack open the door to deeper connection with this energy. It's almost like the struggles tear down the walls between you and the universe, allowing that vital force to flow freely through you. You know, Taoism gives us this incredible insight. It's the balance between yin and yang, the push and pull of opposites, that creates harmony and growth. Without the dark, how could we ever appreciate the light? And in the same way, without challenges, that driving, vital force that pushes our soul to evolve wouldn't have the space to expand. So yeah, those bumps in the road, they're part of the journey. And when we accept that, we begin to see the bigger picture of our evolution. Every obstacle we conquer doesn't just make us stronger. It clears up the fog, giving us a little more clarity about who we really are. Think about it. Suffering teaches us empathy. Loss helps us detach, and uncertainty, well, it teaches us trust. These are the kinds of lessons that only challenges can offer. They bring us closer to the truth of our existence, peeling back layers to reveal the essence of who we truly are. So instead of running from difficulties, maybe try welcoming them. They're not setbacks, they're stepping stones. And every time you get through one, you're strengthening your connection with your soul, with the universe, and with the deeper currents of life. Here's the thing. The soul doesn't play by the same rules as the body. The body's stuck in time and space, limited, constrained. But the soul, it transcends all of that. It exists in multiple dimensions at once, floating in the physical world, while also being deeply rooted in the spiritual. So while we're living our day-to-day lives, parts of us are connected to realms our eyes can't see, or our senses can't touch. In a way, our time on Earth is just a tiny sliver of who we really are. The body? It's just a reflection of something so much bigger than we can even fathom. When you really get this, the multidimensional nature of your soul, it's like a switch flips. Suddenly, everything changes. You begin to understand that your physical life is just a small part of a much larger existence. And your consciousness, it stretches out into other realms, shaping who you are in ways you can't even fully grasp yet. That knowledge, it's a game changer. It lets you tap into a deeper perspective of your journey, revealing things about yourself that you couldn't see before. But here's the rub. Knowing you're a multidimensional being is just the beginning. The real challenge is living with that awareness every single day. When you start seeing yourself not just as a body that's here for a blip, but as an immortal soul with infinite potential, everything changes. Your view of life, your approach to challenges, it all shifts. That's where spiritual practices come in, stuff like meditation and mindfulness. These are the tools that help you reconnect with your true essence. They calm the chaos in the mind, help silence the distractions of the body, and bring you back to your center. And when that happens, life transforms. The present moment, it becomes a field of infinite possibilities. You start realizing that true power comes not from the rush of the body, but from the quiet stillness of the soul. It's from that place of calm that you begin to truly observe, choose, and act. So, if this journey resonates with you, I'd love for you to stick around. Hit that like button, subscribe, and share this message with anyone who might need it. And hey, leave a comment below with your thoughts, reflections, or any experiences you want to share. Thanks for being here, and I'll see you soon. Take care.